Hey guys, how's it going? Kulprit here, and today I'm going to give you a little bit of a different video on my Reboot Camp series. I'm not going to talk about a specific concept per se. I just wanted to show you a nice gameplay of my typical, warm-up / practice session. I got a really good gameplay. I liked it. It's TDM 300 ticket on Carg Island, obviously, as you can see. You see me, I got my tryhard setup going because I hadn't played in about 5 or 6 days. I hadn't played since Saturday. This was filmed on this past Friday. So I knew there would be a lot of rust, and I wanted to really just try to ease myself into it. So this is typically how I'll do my warm-ups. Not always am I like 4 or 5, 6 days rusty, but when I am rusty, this is how I go. And sometimes I get games like this where I almost play better because I focus on the fundamentals so much. So basically, I have my M16, my Cobra sight, my assault kit, like all my things I am most comfortable with because I don't want to start varying things yet until I get my feet under myself. The basic thing I really wanted to do is work on my burst firing and just kind of moving around, just break off the general rust. And what you'll see here is, like I said, I'm focused a lot more on my mini-map. You'll see me pull off a couple nice moves like that. And basically, I'm pushing, but I'm not rushing. You'll see when I find a good spot, I don't leave it. Like right here, I'm in a decent little spot. I've got some cover. I work it. I work the spot. I let them keep coming to me. Now, to be fair, the guys on this server were pretty bad. I don't know why they kept just running right at me, running right at us. This is a bad spot I get caught in. Again, this is, I kind of expected my brain to be lagging behind and rusty, but actually it seemed to do pretty good. But there were instances like this where I just kind of turtled up, I guess. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to do, so I just laid down. But you see me work this spot quite a bit, and I do like this spot on TDM because you get a nice little, angle there on the guys running around that route, and you're exposing yourself very slightly. Some guys are conscious of it, like that guy right there, but if you're good with your gun, you can take him down. So like I was saying, I kind of expected my mental and my awareness and things like that to be really laggy and holding me back. It wasn't really the case, actually. I felt pretty sharp. I played like a half match before this on what the heck's it called, Operation Metro TDM, and I was really outplaying people. I mean, I was jumping out of windows to be down behind people and taking them. It was crazy. But here you go. Like I'm watching the minimap, which is really good. It's something I've been working on. Protect our flank. I know I have guys looking forward, so I'm just checking the minimap from behind and able to pick off a guy or two that way. So, like I said, my awareness and stuff was pretty good. I had my moments where I failed, and you'll see later on there's a pretty big one. I get a little too excited. Here, gun fail. And again, I'm not in the greatest of spot. I should have known they'd probably come from that direction, but I didn't. But you seeing me work cover. I'm working a little slower. I'm not standing still. I'm not camping. But if I get a position and I know people are there, I'm going to hold it and use the cover to my advantage. And I wish I did this more in the regular game modes. I tend to get a little willy-nilly and rush too much, and it gets me in trouble. Here I'm a little too exposed. I get shot from behind. Not a whole heck of a lot I could do there. But you see, I opened up like 15-4. Having not played in almost a week, that's pretty good for me. I'm pretty happy with that. My gun skills seem pretty good. I was focusing on finding the appropriate burst with the M16 because, as you know, it's not like a really quick burst with the M16 as it would be with the AEK or the F2000 type. You want to almost go 5, 6, 7 bullets and really throw enough lead at the guy in that burst to hopefully take him down if you're on target. At least maybe 2 bursts, 3 bursts. If you do it too lightly, the guy's just gonna have too much time to run away and evade you. But here, you see me? Basically what I'm doing here is I don't know where they're spawning. I don't really have a bead on them. I don't know where the hotspot is right now. So I'm in this little spot, fairly secure. I'm just going to hold it until I get some kind of an idea where the new hotspot is. Because now all the spawns have flipped. We were waterside. That was a fight for a while. But now that's kind of flipped up because everybody spawned all over the place. So right here, basically what I'm trying to do is trying to find them. I'm trying to find their spawn. I'm trying to find where they're congregating. Because I don't see that many. So I know they're not over here. I'm assuming they're probably in the warehouse. I've noticed that they're starting to take up positions on the roof of the warehouse, which I hate. It just, I don't really mind guys being up there. It just slows the game down so much. See, I see the sniper glint there, so I break it off. And here, again, I end up, I don't know what he is doing. I don't know. Like I said, some of these guys are pretty bad. And again, here we go. I find they're on waterside. I don't like to just attack straight off because I don't know if I'm going to be, if I'm going to be bisecting them, I'm going to have guys on both sides of me. So I hold off again, catch a guy here. Again, this is me with my minimap. I was pretty happy with my awareness on the minimap. I see it right there. I don't get the kill. That drives me nuts. But overall, when I'm doing a warm-up mode or a direct practice and I'm working on things, this is kind of what I do. I play a TDM match typically by myself. I mean, some guys might join on me or something like that, but I usually don't go in comms with them. because I like to make sure I'm focused on what I'm doing and not the chit-chat and things like that. And I just focus on a couple simple concepts. And here, basically, my concept was cover to cover, mini-map, and burst fire. And that was pretty much what I was focused on. I don't want to overextend myself. You see, like right here, again, I don't necessarily know where they are. I'm trying to figure it out. So I stay in a pretty small little area that I feel affords me some cover. A little jumpy there. As you guys can see, my hip fire is actually, it's still coming along well. Man, I couldn't be happier with it. It really gets me out of, I think it's really elevated my game. Now, you know, it gets me out of a lot of situations where I normally would have died. So I'm really happy I worked on that. I think it's been probably one of the biggest single steps up in my game in a long time. Here, again, these guys just love the water side. They just really, right there, hip fire for the win, you know? They just really, again, see, I wouldn't have survived this a month ago when I started work. This is, I get a little sloppy. This is what I'm talking about. That's another thing I need to work on, is that when I'm engaged in a gunfight, I tend to continue moving. And I don't know if a lot of you guys do this. I kind of leak out. Whereas I need to stand still, because A, I'm going to be in a little bit better cover position. Almost failed there. That guy was camping with his kill streak. I need to stand still because A, it's going to provide me more cover. I'm not going to leak out into the street. And B, you get a nice accuracy bonus. So I need to train myself to stop doing that. And I think that's probably the biggest thing I had a problem with is coming back and being rusty, was my movement hand. It wasn't my aim. You see my aim's pretty good here. Yeah, sure, I missed some shots. But overall, again, considering I hadn't played in a week, I was happy with that. The biggest thing I had a problem was which would be my left hand, was my movement. I was really I was getting brain cramps. I wasn't kind of moving as quickly and fluidly as I'd like to, which was kind of surprising, honestly. Because I do have some issues a little bit with carpal tunnel and things like that, and that's mostly my right hand lately. So I didn't really get that. I'm just going to assume it's rust. Hopefully it's not going to be an issue. That took a long time to take that guy down. I must have been missing him pretty good. Nope. So overall, I was really happy. Unfortunately, it was already pretty late, as we had filmed the podcast, the streamcast, whatever you want to call it, Nerd Talk. And I just got on with the point of breaking off the rust and just getting a couple rounds in. But I really only played about a half of a TDM, and then this round, I was tired, because what you'll see here too, as it's actually probably coming up pretty soon. I'm doing really well, 23-8, 25-8, something like that. And I started to get, like right here, this is a good indicator, this is a good, perfect example. I start getting that, the same thing, it always happens to me. I start off, I'm super focused, I feel like I'm going to be rusty and all that, so I slow my game down, I play all the good fundamentals, and I start to build a good score, and I start to do good, and I start to outplay people, and I start to get overconfident. I start to get almost cocky. I think I can just take people out. I can do anything I want. It's almost like if I will it hard enough, it will happen. And I do it all the time, and you start to see me get sloppy. I get lazy, I get sloppy, I start doing bad fundamentals, running around corners. Right there where I knew that spot was hot, you know, back before when I got killed, and I still ran around the corner, tried to hip fire 5 guys or something. It's just, it's bad play by me, and it's kind of the Rambo syndrome I get, and it's just mental discipline is all it is. And you can see, I probably edited it quite a bit out, but you'll see my score kind of switch. I went from like 23-8, I think it last said. I mean, I still end up with a good score, but over like a couple minute span, I probably go like a 1 KD, because I kind of lose my focus, and I hesitate to say I got fatigued, but you know, this was about a 20-minute match, and for 15 minutes there, I kept really good focus on the match, and I was consistently outplaying people. My aim was on, my movement was good, my cover was solid, and then I just kind of, you know, obviously we were gonna, you know, we opened up a pretty big lead. I kind of felt comfortable we were gonna win the game. I knew pretty much I was gonna have a good score. And I just kind of start to get lackadaisical, I guess, you know, and I start to make silly mistakes. And that's an area I have to work on. I don't always get that so much in the regular objective modes, because there's always something new you need to be working on, thank goodness. See, 34-13. So I've probably gone 10 I guess probably like 8-5, something like that, in that little span I'm talking about. I'm not sure if it gets worse or better. I end up picking it up at the end of the match. The game actually kind of slowed down, like I said. The guys started taking up positions in the building and on the roof, and that really tends to slow these games down quite a bit. So there was a big chunk I cut out of here that I was literally just running around looking for engagements, because I was playing relatively slowly. I was getting beat out for kills by guys running around and rushing, but I'll take that, you know, slow and steady. Like I said, I'm always pushing but never rushing, if that makes sense to you guys. It's kind of a little bit of a mantra for me. I'm always moving forward, I'm always putting pressure on people, But I'm not doing what that guy just did, like kind of running around the forklift with no real idea, and he dies. No direction, no, you know, and that used to be me, and it still is me sometimes, but I'm working on it, and I'm trying to just improve my game, and I'm really actually kind of happy with this, the evolution of my game. Like I said, the hip fire is just, God, it's added such a dynamic to my game. This is where I go a little crazy. I get a little excited. I managed to live there. Don't know how. Man, that's another nemesis victim on that guy. But, you know, this is what we all look for. These kind of engagements where there's just targets everywhere. And if you can get your gun on them, you're going to kill them. Look at this right here. I get like, oh my goodness, I kind of get a little boner alert going here. And I just totally fail coming up. And you guys gotta hate it because you're just like, it's the moment you like die for in Battlefield 3. Like, look right here. When I turn, look, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 guys. If I just stop and just methodically mow them down, none of them are looking at me. I could have had a 4 or 5 piece there, and I just get so excited. And again, you see how I leak out into the parking lot. And it's just, what I should do is just stop, even maybe move back behind cover beforehand, and then just methodically mow them down. It's just mental discipline. It's just rust. It's something I gotta work on. But there you go, guys. I wanted to give you a little glimpse into how I do. I'll end up 40 and 18. Very good game for me. And especially considering I've been off for 5 or 6 games. I was very happy with that. Part of the reasons I logged off after this is that I didn't want to taint it with a bad game afterwards. But there you go, guys. Like I said, I wanted to give you a little glimpse into how I warm up or how I practice. You know, this was a warm-up round, but this is a typical match for me. Not score-wise, but just approach-wise. I work on a couple basic concepts, I hammer them into my head, and the more I do it, the more it becomes reflex. And, you know, if it works for me, it'll work for you guys. And so, I mean, I hope you're enjoying the series. I hope you guys are seeing gains in your game like I am, because it's really a good feeling when you start to see your game elevate. Otherwise, guys, likes, favorites, retweets, whatever, I really appreciate it. It all helps me out. And I hope you're enjoying your day. I will talk to you soon. Take care, guys.